In 2025, a research paper sent shockwaves through the global scientific community. Chinese scientists officially announced that an ocean once existed on Mars, and the one to uncover this earth-shattering secret was a Martian rover that has been submerged in a deep sleep for the past 3 years, Zhurong. Right now, it lies quietly amidst the frozen Martian wilderness at -130°C. A thick layer of red dust covers its solar panels. Earth has called out to it thousands of times, but it has not responded even once. You might think this is a tragic ending, right? No, this is only the beginning of an epic saga. Today, let me introduce you to this lonely explorer. It weighs 240 kilograms, stands 1.85 meters tall, has 6 wheels, 2 golden solar wings, and a name derived from the god of fire in ancient Chinese mythology, Zhurong. Let's go back in time to July 23, 2020, at the Wenchang Space Launch Site in Hainan. At 12:41 p.m. that day, the Long March 5 rocket surged off the ground, its tail flames tearing through the clouds as it propelled the Tianwen-1 spacecraft into deep space. Tucked inside the belly of Tianwen-1, Zhurong began the longest journey of its life, a destination 400 million kilometers away. To put that distance in perspective, driving from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City, you would have to make over 230,000 trips to cover that gap. Or look at it another way, light is the fastest thing in the universe, circling the Earth 7.5 times in 1 second. Yet, even light takes nearly 20 minutes to travel from Earth to Mars. As for Zhurong, it traveled for 202 grueling days, 7 full months, enclosed in a pitch-black, silent space, surrounded by the -270°C vacuum of the cosmos. But the challenges were far from over. On February 10, 2021, Tianwen-1 reached the vicinity of Mars and was successfully captured by Martian gravity. But does reaching Mars mean you can land immediately? It's not that simple. Tianwen-1 carried Zhurong around Mars for 3 whole months, photographing and analyzing data just to find a safe landing spot. The surface of Mars is no smooth highway, it is riddled with craters, boulders, and sand traps. Landing in the wrong place could mean anything from flipping over to shattering into pieces. Eventually, scientists chose the southern part of Utopia Planitia. The name, Utopia, sounds romantic. In Greek, it means an ideal land that does not exist, but the reality is anything but. It is a gargantuan impact basin. As far as the eye can see, there is nothing but suffocatingly desolate red dust. However, scientists chose this spot for 2 reasons. First, it was flat enough for a safe landing. Second, it was likely the shoreline of an ancient Martian ocean, making its scientific value immensely high. Later events proved this choice was spot on. In the early morning of May 15, 2021, the moment of destiny arrived. Zhurong and its lander separated from the orbiter and began their plunge toward the Martian surface. The following 9 minutes are famously known as the 9 minutes of terror. Why terror? Because during these 9 minutes, Zhurong had to autonomously complete over 10 incredibly difficult maneuvers: aerodynamic braking, deploying the parachute, jettisoning the heat shield, firing retro rockets, hovering to avoid obstacles, and finally, a soft landing. If any single step failed, the result would be total destruction. What makes it even more desperate is that Earth cannot help at all. The signal delay between Mars and Earth is up to 18 minutes. By the time Beijing receives the signal that the descent has begun, the outcome has already been decided. It is either a success or a pile of scrap metal. In those 9 minutes, Zhurong had to judge, decide, and act for itself. A machine 400 million kilometers away was gambling its life in total isolation. It slammed into the Martian atmosphere at 20,000 kilometers per hour, 10 times faster than a rifle bullet. The heat shield surface temperature instantly soared to 1,300°C. Then, a massive parachute over 40 meters in diameter, half the size of a football pitch, deployed. But the Martian atmosphere is thin, only 1% as dense as Earth's. The parachute alone couldn't stop it, it had to rely on downward firing engines to brake. At 100 meters above the ground, the lander's sensors scanned the terrain for a flat spot. Once found, it lowered further, 80 meters, 50 meters, 20 meters. Finally, its wheels settled firmly into the red sand. Success. The Beijing Aerospace Flight Control Center erupted instantly. Some cheered, others wept. China had become the second nation in the world to successfully land a rover on Mars. What is even more impressive is that while the US took 20 years to complete the 3 steps of orbiting, landing, and roving across separate missions, China accomplished all 3 in its very first attempt. This, all-in-one, leap was unprecedented in global aerospace history. On May 22, 2021, Zhurong rolled off the landing platform. Its 6 wheels pressed into Martian soil for the first time, leaving 2 distinct tracks, the first footprints China ever left outside of Earth. Zhurong was equipped with 6 scientific instruments, including navigation cameras, multispectral cameras, weather sensors, and magnetic field detectors. But the most powerful tool was its ground-penetrating radar, GPR. It could peer deep into the ground, seeing structures dozens of meters below the surface, essentially performing a quartz scan for Mars. It was through this radar that Zhurong discovered the secret that changed human understanding. After traveling nearly 2 kilometers, the radar data revealed that between 10 and 35 meters beneath Zhurong's path, there existed massive layers of tilted sediment. Tilted at an angle of about 15 degrees, they all leaned toward the northern depression. On Earth, these structures are known as marine transgressive sequences, geological signatures formed by the continuous pounding of ocean waves against a shore. These structures could not have been formed by wind-blown sand or occasional rain. Only massive bodies of water.